Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss course book chapter 8, The Star and the Lily. Dear students, this is the Native American story, The Star and the Lily. And here in this story, an old chieftain sat in his wigwam. What do you mean by wigwam? Wigwam, a cone-shaped tent of Native Americans. The story is set in America when a crowd of Indian boys and girls suddenly entered and begged him to tell them a story, and he did so. Then the chieftain told this story to some of the Indian boys as well as girls. Oh, many, many moons ago, when the world was young and there was no winter, it was always beautiful spring. Then violets and roses bloomed all the year around, and the birds sang their sweetest songs night and day. That was the time. Then there wandered through the sky land, and a very bright little star. It looked down on the earth and saw the children laughing and playing. And it wished. Who wished here? The star wished. It wished to live among them and be loved. So it put out wings like a bird's, and flying downwards hovered above the tops of the trees. But it did not know in what form to dwell, so that the children would love it. Taking the shape of a bright maiden, the star entered the dreams of a young brave who slept alone in his lodge. Young brave, said the maiden, to the dreaming youth, I am a star that has left the sky to live in your land. Lovely are the things of earth, its flowers, its birds, its rivers, its lakes, but more lovely are its children. Ask your wise man, in what form I should dwell to be the best loved by the children. Thus spoke the bright maiden, and vanished from the young man's dreams. He awoke, and stepping from his lodge, saw the shining stars hovering above the trees. And at dawn, he sought the wise men of his tribe and told them his dream. And when night was come again, and the brave was sleeping alone in his lodge, the star spread its wings, and in the shape of the maiden entered once more his dreams. Then he bade it seek a dwelling place in the tops of giant trees, or in the hearts of the flowers. So would the children love it. He wants to take the love of the children in on that time. Only that was his intention. Then the maiden vanished as before, and becoming the star again, wandered above the earth, seeking some form in which to dwell. Was seeking in which form he can dwell on the earth. At first, the star crept into the heart of the white rose of the mountain, but it was so hidden in a lonely spot that the children never saw it. Then what happened? Then it went to the prairie are the grasslands, to live in the blades of grass. But it feared the trampling hoofs of the buffaloes, that it might be crushed down by the buffaloes. Then what he planned next? Next, it sought the rocky cliff to lie in the moss, but the children could not climb so high. So, it was the only attempt to get the love of the children. Then said the star, I live on the surface of the lake. And for there, all the warm summer day, the children paddle their canoes. They will see me reflected in the ripples and will love me. So the star alighted on the lake and dissolved in beauty, and it formed as the lily flower in the water. And when the children rose in the morning and ran down to the shore, they saw hundreds and hundreds of white lilies like fairy cups floating on the water, and in the heart of each the bright star was dwelling. Soon the happy children in their canoes were darting to and fro, and as they trailed their hands in the water and gathered the blossoms, they laughingly called to each other, how we love the water lilies! How we love the water lilies! बच्चे, this is the story featured in the book entitled The Red Indian Fairy Books by Francis Jenkins Alcott and published in Boston, New York by Houghton Mifflin Company. Published by Houghton Mifflin Company. Okay, this is the story about the how the stars become the water lilies and loved and liked by all of us.